Very good evening. Assalamu alaikum. This is Jakir from Dhaka. We have started water chemistry live class today, day 39. Welcome everybody. We are here for your kind support. We are started our discussion on water chemistry from the first day of lockdown. One by one, we started on day 39 by your sincere support, gratitude, continuous participation, continuous work, continuous question, comment, and because of your inspiration, I continue the class. Today is day 39, and I am here with the basic water chemistry. We have finished many parameters of internal water treatment after finishing the water chemistry. So today we like to discuss on the special organism that we call Legionella. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining. I'm waiting for more to join, and by the time I want to start Ramjanul Mubarak song and very nice Islamic song. I like the song, so let's enjoy the song fast. Waiting for connecting more people.
क्या ऊंची शान है अल्लाह अल्लाह उसकी सबकी शान है अल्लाह अल्लाह सब दिलों की जान है अल्लाह अल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी अल्लाह 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 ما في قلبي अल्लाह 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 नूर मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाह eder günahı Allahu Allah alemin padişahı Allahu Allah yüreklerin enahı Allahu Allah işit Allah dertimi ahlarımı rahmeyle bağışla günahlarımı hayreyle hem akşam hem sabahlarımı الله 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 ما في قلبي الله 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 نور محمد صلى الله لا إله إلا الله الله الله
Everybody, welcome Hasif, Shadat, Kasif, Assalamu alaikum everybody. Thank you very much. So we are standing here 39, day 39 today. Continuously we are discussing water chemistry, and we started internal water treatment, and you know the internal water treatment part. We classified them as a BCS, biological corrosion and scaling problem. We completely finished discussion on corrosion, scaling. We are continue to discussion on biological issues, and on organism we are discussed algae, bacteria, fungi, and today we like to discuss Legionella. This is a very important one of the new and concern for all the water body, especially the who work and cooling water system. So we have discussed detail about different kind of bacteria, their growth and metabolism requirement for the bacteria. We detailed discussion on growth pattern of the bacteria. We discussed yesterday the problem cause of the bacteria and especially the microbial induced corrosion. Today we like to discuss the special kind of bacteria that is a very serious concern for expertise who work in the area of any cooling system and who work in a water body, or we all need to know the concern of Legionella. This is a very serious concern like corona, so we have to be careful the Legionella, and we have to have the basic primary information regarding Legionella. Thank you very much for joining Shakil, Masood, Liton and many more. Today we are discussing the organism of water that creates problem in different water body, and today we discuss the special kind of bacteria that we call Legionella, and that create a lot of problem, and that is carcinogenic kind of things that can create problem for health also. So let's come to our discussion. The first question, what is Legionella? Do you anyone have any idea? Do you heard this before? What is Legionella and why it is so important to discuss as separately? Because there are millions of bacteria, but especially for this Legionella is a very concern for the expertise, for the people who work in process, especially who involved in water treatment, who involved in different kind of water body. So thank you very much. So especially Legionella is a kind of bacteria. Walaikum assalam, Shakil Mahmood, thank you very much. Sorry, Legionella is a special kind of bacteria that is available in any aquatic environment, any water body, and the special attention for this causes a disease that is called Legionella disease, and this is a special kind of pneumonia, and it becomes very serious if it is affected by the aged people. So that's why, and this bacteria is very commonly found in a cooling water system, cooling towers and other area of water body. So that's why it's our core and ethical responsibility to aware you all who work in cooling system and who involve in kind of water treatment area. So this is our core ethical responsibility to aware you, and this bacteria especially to be a common bacteria for maybe in any cooling system, but if we don't aware it, we might get affected and we might get lost our life. So this is so important to understand what is Legionella. So this is a special kind of bacteria. There are 50 to 60 species in this kind of bacteria. All together the group is called Legionella, and this Legionella is commonly found in different sources of water. If you see the sources of Legionella and every cooling system, if you see the cooling tower always produce humid air, the moisture air, and the challenge is cooling tower also spray a lot of water droplet. So Legionella can grow in any warm water, any hot water. The water is not very hot or very cold. So the water that is warm, the temperature is, we will discuss, is very favorable temperature for any cooling system. So in warm water Legionella can grow. And if you see the sources of Legionella, the most first sources is cooling tower, water mist as a droplet, swimming pools, especially Scandinavian country, it's found in swimming pool also, because if it is warm water and you don't sanitize for a long time, Legionella can grow in swimming pool also. Domestic water system and shower, this is also very tricky and risky if our reservoir tank, underground water tank not cleaned properly, if there is a long time old debris inside the tank or inside our domestic water system, so there might be a chance of grow Legionella also. Ice making machineries, I'm sure many of you visited ice factory. The factory mostly all the time the moisture. Welcome Rajesh Mutsudi, thank you very much. We are discussing today a special kind of bacteria called Legionella. This is very serious bacteria for health concern. So in ice making machine, in ice making factory, it might be available Legionella. Refrigerated cabinet, there are a lot of cabinet we have to use for different purpose to preserve the things to preserve the potatoes, preserve the different fruits, different ice cream, even meat. Meat processing industry, so refrigerator cabinet also can be the source of Legionella. So this is very important to aware where Legionella can be present. In spas, different kind of spas and hot springs, there is a lot of fountain. There is a hot spring and fountain spa. If they are not sanitized properly, if they are not well maintained, and even in dental equipment, this is also very important, dental equipment, because in dentist dental procedure, and they use a lot of water, different kind of fluid also in the chamber they kept it, and if they don't do proper sanitizing regularly with the correct procedure, then there is a chance of Legionella also can grow in the dental procedures or on dental equipment also. Welcome Mominul, thank you very much. We are discussing today one of kind of a special bacteria that is called Legionella. Thank you. So automobile windshield wash water, you know that in automobile we use windshield water. If that water is very old and if we don't do proper care on this, or Legionella bacteria can be growing this. Industrial coolant, so different kind of industrial coolant we use and different kind of cooling water we use, so this kind of environment. And last but not least, wastewater treatment plant. So these are the common sources for Legionella bacteria as per expertise or expert research find out. But for our concern, all the places somehow somewhere we might get contacted. And if we see the internal water treatment, cooling water is our important part, where is the one of the vital source is for Legionella, and this Legionella can grow in dirty cooling system. If the all treatment is not going perfectly, the bigger system, the Legionella can grow inside the system, and it is okay, it can grow in the system. It may not create problem in the systems as, but it may create for your health, it may affect your health, it may infect you and your lung, and you may get died if you are unfortunate enough. So that's why we have to be very careful regarding the Legionella. If you see why it is important to understand, if you see the ideal growth condition of Legionella, the temperature required is 20 to 50 degrees centigrade, as like other bacteria also. pH 5 to 8.5. So if we focus our cooling water system, all the parameter of cooling water is favorable. Sufficient nutrient, stagnant water. If any system have algae, amoeba and protozoa, and system contaminated by biomass or slime, microbial fouling, this kind of environment always available in cooling tower and cooling system. So cooling system is one of the vital source for the Legionella, as it is a very dangerous for health. So we have to be very aware, and we have to be treat cooling tower very professionally, dedicatedly. Even our customer should aware this kind of problem, and the management should also aware that there is a bacteria called Legionella. If any cooling system contain, anytime any person can be affected, and sometimes it may go so chronic like corona, they can go die. So if you see the temperature, the lowest temperature 20, below 20 Legionella cannot grow, but it can retain as in the dormant phase. It can survive, but they cannot grow, they cannot come out, they cannot increase their reproductive system, they cannot increase their number. So below temperature generally no problem, but above temperature, the best temperature is around, if you see the 30 to 35 to 46 degrees centigrade is the optimum temperature range. And especially most of the cooling tower stand in this range 35 to 40 degrees centigrade. So that's why, because of the temperature, one of the good place is cooling tower, where Legionella can grow faster, can increase the number, and can travel with the air nearby the area. So if any people contaminated with that area and the water moisture inhale, and then by the water moisture, water droplet, it goes inside the human body and it grow, and it can create problem in the lung, and it create a very serious pneumonia. And if you are not strong enough, you are not healthy enough, you might be affected seriously and you may go died. So if you see the temperature change, still above 50 degrees centigrade they cannot grow, and if it is 60 degrees centigrade they kill in 2 minutes, and above 70 degrees centigrade they kill rapidly. So some special area like the things that we need to be create hygienic, like the usable things, like portable things, the domestic things like swimming pool, like dentist, different appliance. So if we want to keep sanitize them, even some pharmaceutical tank reservoir, so we have to be sanitized above 70 degrees centigrade temperature at a good frequency, maybe once in a depending on the standard operating procedure of the plant, of the machine, of the industry, of the factory, of the medicine equipment. So you have to sanitize the things above 70 degree Fahrenheit to 70 degrees Celsius to minimize the growth of Legionella and to kill the Legionella. But especially for cooling water system, especially for the system that stand within a good temperature range like 35 to 40 or 30 to 40, that range usually the big like cooling system, we can't apply this kind of high temperature water to sanitize. So we have to be very careful, because all the cooling system, if it is fouled, if it is under biofouling, if it has algae, if it has a turbid environment, and the cooling water is spray out as a droplet and it mixed with the air, and if inhale that air, then always there is a chance of infected by this Legionella bacteria. If by chance it is inhaled by any human being, and it can create different kind of pneumonia. And if it is AIDS person, again saying, if you are not healthy enough, it can kill you. So this is why Legionella is very dangerous and very serious. So if you see the disease it can causes, that is called legionellosis or Legionella disease. And the disease is special kind of fever it can happen, and if for the aged person especially, it can go chronic or critical pneumonia. Your lung affected, your lung reduce its normal operational capacity, it cannot absorb air, or it cannot function as a regular function. So you will feel different symptom, like you might feel fever, you might feel headaches, you might feel the whole body ache, you might feel cough, you might feel chill, and you might shortage of your breath. So all these are the regular symptom like corona also. So the people who work with nearby the cooling tower, who travel nearby the cooling tower, or who work at cooling tower very frequently, visit at cooling tower very frequently, we have to be very careful about this. We should not inhale the mist, and we try to manage ourselves healthy enough. If we visit any cooling system, we should take care for our inhalation and many other aspects. So this is very, very dangerous things. And if any system does not maintain hygienic condition, so we should careful whether we are visiting, or there should be a safety precaution enough to visit this kind of factors. So if you see the disease can happen, and this is not only for cooling tower. Legionella can grow in any water body if temperature is favorable, but by nature it can come in any natural water in any source as a regular bacteria, but it will impact only when it can grow as a certain big number, and only if inhale or it enter in your body by nose or mouth or anything or any area. And if you see the earlier the sources, we have to be very careful. All the sources like swimming pool, domestic water system, shower, for especially the house where the hot water system is there, if we don't clean properly and if we don't hot the water up to 70 degrees centigrade, if our temperature always below 40, there is a chance of growing this kind of Legionella. And if you see the ice making factories, so you have to be careful visiting this kind of factory. Refrigerated cabinet, hot spa, sometimes we visited a spa, we go to the beauty parlor. Assalamu alaikum, Akhtar Gurmani, thank you very much, thank you. Sometimes we enjoyed swimming pool, we enjoyed jacuzzi, different kind of fountain, hot spring, and different kind of we have to visit different kind of wastewater treatment plant and other plants. So all these are the very critical area, critical place where this bacteria can exist, and that can create problem for us. So if you see the who are the more vulnerable for this kind of bacteria, the people at high risk are mostly the people are weak. The people, the general people, antibody is quite enough to fight with this. But if you are weak, like if your age is 50 plus or if your age is 65 plus, and still you affected this kind of bacteria, you will be in problem, like same as corona. And if you are current smoker, because always it's affected the lung. If you are a smoker, your lung function or your lung will always be weak, so it cannot fight enough with this kind of bacteria to operate its regular function. So all the people who do smoking, they are also vulnerable for this kind of bacteria. People who already have lung disease, so they also have problem. Welcome Kamrud Jaman Bijon, thank you very much. The people is weak immune system, maybe because of the cancer, or maybe because of the other region, or maybe they do some transplantation, big operation, or they have some other infection. So this kind of people who has a very low immune system, they can also affected by this bacteria, and if they affected, they become serious. They might have to go to the ICU, CCU, the different kind of things. So people having illness like of diabetes, kidney failure, liver failure, and any other big and vital organ failure, people, if they are affected by this kind of bacteria, they may suffer a lot and they may got died. So this kind of bacteria is really commonly available in foul cooling system. I'm again and repetitively saying, and that's why we have to be very careful, very aware, and we have to be take care of our cooling system so that the treatment become perfect. The fouling should be minimum, the biological growth should be controlled, their flow should be proper, their dispersion use should be proper, all kind of treatment combinedly. Once the proper treatment will go, there will be less chance of growth of Legionella. The good news is, if you are healthy enough, if you are a strong immune system, if you have, the most healthy people, even if you exposed to Legionella, generally do not get sick. But if you are unhealthy people, if your immune system is weak, your lung function is weak, you are already affected by some chronic disease, then if you affected, then symptom will come. And other important things and interesting thing, that it usually the people does not transmit it to the other people. Means if you affected or I affected, I cannot transfer this to other people. It does not transfer by people to people. It only transfer if you inhale a water droplet, water mist. In that water mist, if Legionella bacteria present, then only it come and you can inhale it, and it goes inside your lung, and then it can create a problem. So guys, if you have any concern, any question so far, I'm sure you understand what I am talking about, and you can see my screen, you can hear my voice clearly. If you have any question, anything, you can ask me, or you can thumbs up, yes, you can hear me clearly and you can see my screen very clearly. Please do thumbs up so that I can understand, yes, you understand. So today we are discussing very interesting and very specific bacteria that we call Legionella. Why we pick up this bacteria? Because this is very dangerous bacteria. If you don't know, or unknowingly if you visit a cooling system or any swimming pool or any unhygiene, unclean system, even you may affected by this kind of bacteria, and you may get fever, and it may goes to pneumonia and severe pneumonia, and sometime if you are unlucky, you may get died. So because of this seriousness, we have to be understand this bacteria. So guys, I need your cooperation. If you hear me clearly, please thumbs up, or if you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you very much. I'm sure you can hear me clearly. So this is very important how we can detect it. Yes, as regular all other bacteria, all other count, we can do the same test. We can do the same kind of culture. We can use the deep slide. Definitely like corona, during this corona, how we are testing coronavirus, that kind of coronavirus also similar way, that is called PCR. So by method of this PCR it can be tested. By method of antibody or antigen we can test it, and there are some other sophisticated method also we can use to test it. And definitely there are some kind of portable test kit also available to test the Legionella, and especially the big industry, many industry, they do test for themselves because it is a risky matter. So if you have not tested it, and you can aware your customer, and the customer arrange the test facilities, and they can test whether their system has Legionella or not. And definitely thank you very much, Shahadat, you asked me what kind of safety should be taken. And definitely like corona, you should wear some masks, so that usually the mist should not inhale. The water vapor or water mist coming out from a heavily foul cooling system or any cooling water, you should not inhale very easily. You try to avoid to inhale a cooling system. If you see the left side, there is a strip. So this kind of strip also can present whether this the Legionella present or not. There are many testing method. We will not discuss on testing method, but just for a easy and for any operator, anybody can test. If this is a kind of a test strip, if the two mark coming like a pregnancy test, if it is come 2 mark, then it is a positive. It is 1 mark, a negative. It's a very easy, very convenient test. If you just put water droplet in on this, and then easily it will come up the color. If a 2 line come, then it is positive. If 1 line come, is a negative. So this kind of easy test also available. So depending on when we understand should I test or not, then we can find a way to test it. But important thing is we have to be careful, we have to be critically focused, and we have to be concerned about the Legionella. So if you see the preventive action regarding Legionella, as like any other bacteria, if we can control total bacteria in any system, we can ensure, we can understand, we can feel that the Legionella also be controlled. But for any system, Legionella grow especially in the slime. If the system is foul heavily, if the pipeline, if you see there is a pipeline, normally the bottom side of the pipeline fouling grow. So basically Legionella grow inside the slime and inside the fouling. And if the fouling is no fouling, so that the Legionella cannot reproduce, cannot grow number of mass. Even the Legionella presence, their number will be very less. That will not create problem unless its number is become very high. So if it is number like less than 10 to the power 2 or less than 100 or less than 1000, it's controllable, it is okay. But some areas, some depending on the regulation, depending on the carefulness, some people don't like to keep even less than 100. So you have to keep the system clean. And for this kind of thing, it is advisable that if your system is easily clean, so you can clean once in a year, or at least if you get opportunity, you have to do clean all the system as clean as possible. You should clean your throughout the system, and the reservoir, the tank, the basin, the infill, the pipeline, as maximum as possible you should clean, and you should disinfect. And for the plant where the most people can connect it closely, or it's a very like other area, like if it is a pharmaceutical plant, if it is a food industry, definitely you have to be very careful, and you have to be clean and disinfect the system. And there should be always a design and configuration aspect, that we should avoid stagnant water, and we should not give or allow much stagnant water here and there. So that's also another precaution, another preventive action. There should be good overall maintenance all over the cooling tower, and the design and operation like mist eliminator. Generally the vapor does not carry the biocide, the bacteria, but the water droplet contains. So in cooling tower design, if we can apply or we can have proper mist eliminator or proper drift eliminator, then with the having proper drift eliminator we can minimize the come out the water droplet from the cooling tower. So that also a kind of preventive action to reduce the contamination, reduce the chance probability of Legionella infection or contamination. So lot of aspect is there. One is the mechanical, one is the chemical, other is operational and design, and then it's a kind of configuration, and definitely the proper maintenance, like area like mist eliminator, drift eliminator, the bend of the angle of the fan that is rotating, that also should be proper, so that less water can come out from the cooling system as a droplet. And definitely good water treatment program. We have to be treat very carefully corrosion, scaling, fouling, biofouling, and we have to maintain oxidizing biocide is a good level throughout the year. Then only we can ensure we can work as a preventive action of Legionella control. So as regular biocidical problem, it is also if we can succeed the biofouling problem, if we can succeed the bacteria control below the design level all the time round the year, if we can keep our corrosion product perfect and corrosion control perfect, scaling, fouling, deposition, all the things is in combinedly, if we can control perfectly, Legionella always will be controlled. But if we fail one by one, as we discussed early again, in water, internal water treatment, all the things are interrelated, comes one after another. So if we fail in any area, then there is a other area will come and we are actually fail the total treatment. So if we fail the total treatment, there is always a possibility to have the Legionella. So this is especially I am talking because of the awareness. Many of our team, our customer, our different computer engineers also working nearby cooling tower. I wishing all the good health, and that is my social responsibility also to aware everybody, especially this kind of Legionella bacteria. So I'm sure after today's discussion we can have at least some clean and clear idea how we can control the Legionella. So today I like to stop here, because again the things that we have to discuss, control of microorganism. Yes, this is a very big another topic. We will discuss from tomorrow. We will start discussion on control of microorganism, and we will discuss different kind of biocide and other what are the technology strategy that we can control organism. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can write here. Shahadat Hossain, limitation value of Legionella. Thank you very much. Especially would prefer 0, but sometimes 0 may not possible, so we might have to below 100. If 100 not possible, we should have below at least 1000, that is 10 to the power 3. So if we can control below 10 to the power 3, we can say we are control, but it is always preferable as less as good. But if system does not have free chlorine enough, if system does not have free halogen enough sufficiently, there is always chance of grow is the number. So you have to be control system, other biocide or other biofouling things to control Legionella as like a regular common biological treatment. So guys, that's all for today. If you have any question, you can ask me, and if you can write comment later also I can travel. If you can get very good interesting journal, interesting report, literature regarding this Legionella, you can post on this group for better and for more understanding or all the team. So I appreciate your support and continue with me. Thank you very much for connecting me and hearing me. And if you have any question, please you write. If you have any feedback, any comment, any criticism, you are free to write anything. If you like to come join with me in the live class also, I like encourage you to join. So I think that's all for today. Tomorrow again I will come 10:30 p.m. Dhaka Bangladesh time. By that time, stay strong, stay safe, pray for me, and pray to Almighty so that everything come normal very fast. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and good night, bye bye.